think I clicked go live a little soon, but hello. Not fully ready yet. I'm going to just give it a moment for people to come onto the chat. Very spontaneous live video live stream for me. I literally just walked in the door from a very beautiful, sacred support group moment for energetically sensitives. And we unpacked a lot. And I feel like clearing out a lot of ancestral trauma and a lot. I want to talk about the energy that we have been in and what we are moving into. It's been a whirlwind for me. Great changes, big changes. The astrology does not lie at all. I am definitely experiencing and feeling this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction with some great changes manifesting in my reality. So I wanted to dive into that. It was exact yesterday. This is a 13, 14 year cycle. So it's pretty profound and it has great impacts on us all. So it's helping us also move into where we're feeling and experiencing the buildup, the culmination of this full moon in Scorpio coming on the 20, what's the date? 23rd? Tuesday, the 23rd. Scorpio, sign of transformation. This full moon is in a square to Pluto. So the ruler of Scorpio, one of the things as a Scorpio sun and really embodying and understanding the beautiful and the harsh aspects of the Scorpio archetype, I found myself stinging myself with my own scorpionic stinger, which is what happens when we're in Scorpio energy and we are triggered and agitated. The energy right now, hello Darren. The energy right now is like a giant snow globe. We're being picked up and shaken around, and it's very chaotic and fast moving. And so Scorpio, we tend to turn on ourselves when we are confronted or we find ourselves in a challenging or triggering energy or situation. So be mindful of how you speak to yourself, how you treat yourself. I got to witness myself yesterday, and it just hit me like, wow, just because things weren't flowing smoothly, I was blaming myself. And anyway, there's a lot of deep truth and clarity and growth that we are experiencing. Yesterday, 420 was the exact conjunction of Jupiter Uranus. It's very enlightening energy, and there's a lot of our own hidden stuff. Scorpio is being revealed to us. Hidden truths, hidden things that have been hidden from us being exposed. So there's a lot of validation also that we are experiencing right now. So for those of you who thought you knew the truth, but you weren't 100% sure, suddenly you're going to be receiving, or you have been receiving, validation for that which you already had an inner knowing of some sort going on. This is also quantum leaps into a higher timeline, into a new timeline. Timeline shifts, sudden opportunities and resources become available. And this energy can feel very overwhelming. especially for the fixed signs. And I have a lot of fixed energy in my chart. So, and the fixed signs are Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus. Hello, hello. Hi, Darren, and hi, Dame Chai Code the Divine. I'm sorry, I am butchering your name, but it's an interesting one. Hello. Um, Mercury's still in retrograde. We'll be coming out of retrograde in a few days, but we still have Mercury in retrograde in Aries. So it is important to slow down because there's so much detail that is being revealed. And but if we're going too fast, we're going to miss all of these important, juicy details that we need. Hello, hello, Michelle. It's okay. Sorry. I've had a long day. I did not expect to come live. I literally just walked in the door from from 1 to 5, 4-hour support group that was only supposed to be an hour and a half. We just went on and on and on, but it was great, amazing. So I'm still with this energy. The Scorpio full moon is very deep, very a lot of emotions surfacing. So many of us pre-wave these energies, meaning we feel them before, because energy is not in a linear timeline either. So we feel the culmination of the energy, we feel the exact energy, and we feel the energy days, weeks later as well. Mercury in retrograde in Aries, though, is really important to slow down so that we can understand the internal review. Some of us may be going through a whole life review internally through our memory bank and through our experiences, our dreams. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. It's important. Mercury does go direct on the 25th, but we have pre and post shadow also. So it's important to really sit with the deeper truths that are surfacing before acting, before responding, before reacting. And because the intention really matters, right? And if you don't, you don't. We learn through our behavior patterns, we learn about ourselves. But with the Mercury retrograde, it gives us a time to slow down because our mind is more internally, it's shifted to the internal instead of the external as much. But the external is going on, like that snow globe is getting shaken up and it's really trying to pull us off our game. Push-pull energy, a lot of it. Taurus energy, sun's in Taurus. Taurus likes simplicity. And we really are moving towards a more simplistic way of being, way of living. Some people may be really doing a lot of clutter clearing externally, meaning like cleaning out your closets, cleaning out your house, but we're clutter clearing internally as well. That must be coming because I've been very moody and depressed, and this is not like me at all. Yeah. It is a lot of emotions, and it's important to sit with them and understand where these emotions, what are they trying to tell us? What are they trying to direct us towards? Most of them are internal parts and inner child parts that need to be seen, heard, and understand. Darren, I was going to respond today, but decided against it. It's important to sit before you respond because the intention behind those responses really does matter. Another thing, just so funny. So we're having a solar, as we always are, but it's been ramping up the solar activity. So we're in a geomagnetic storm that has been going on for a while, but Uranus energy is very energetic, electric, and it tends to cause volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, severe weather patterns, as well as accidents. And it can be very erratic if we're not slowing down and paying attention and being mindful of our internal stuff that's getting shaken up and our actions that we take outwardly. The slower and more mindful we are right now, the better, because there's a lot of chaotic energy that will try to direct us back into old patterns, back into the old habitual ways that we've always operated on. And you know, if you see it afterwards, if it's hindsight, it's a growth. It's part of growth. It's part of learning. It's part of Earth School that we're all in, Earth School. And I like that name too. Yes, external life rush passing so fast as if I'm just an observer. Yeah, it almost doesn't give us a choice, really. And that's definitely been my experience. It's like the things are shifting and changing so fast. I'm just like, there's not enough time to respond. There's not enough time to even think or act. But then you get a space. We were given these spaces where, okay, let me just sort of process all of this and what is coming up for me. Hi, Martin. A long time. I'm glad you caught the live. Hello. Venus is in Aries, which is a little difficult as well, and making a conjunction to the North Node. So first she's making a conjunction to the North Node, then she moves to Mercury, and then to Chiron. So this is triggering more of the Aries eclipse energy to really work with us and within us as well. So self-love, this has been coming up. This came up very deeply in the support group that I was in earlier today. Self-love is definitely a big theme right now, especially within our relationships. How much are we giving? How much are we giving ourselves? Is there equal reciprocity? Are we catching on to and noticing and witnessing our patterns, right? There is an energy of renewed empowerment that is being gifted to us all if we are slowed down enough and mindful enough to witness ourselves. And even if we have been slowed down enough to not react or respond right away with knee-jerk reactions, well, there still is time to respond, but we want to respond from our heart. We want to respond with our own self-love as being the most important. What is the most loving response that I can give at this moment? And that love given to myself first and foremost. But then, self-love ripples out to love to all others. Venus also has to do with our looks or appearances. So you may start to notice like being self-conscious about how you're appearing in front, what you're saying, how you look, how you act in front of others. That may be a mirror that some of us are really catching a good glimpse of and realizing like, who am I doing this performance for? Why am I still operating in these old patterns? And I'm not looking at myself. Hello, Karen. Hi. So that's definitely been a big one. So this full moon in Scorpio square to Pluto is not an easy energy either. Oh my, and I've definitely been feeling this one. As I said in the very beginning, Scorpio, when triggered or when backed into a corner or when we're in Scorpio energy and we're feeling very challenged, even with ourselves, what we do is we turn that stinger onto ourselves. So this is why self-love is a big theme right now. Catch yourself when you're stinging yourself. I caught myself telling myself that I was a loser. It was because my lawnmower wouldn't work, that I can't do anything right, and all of these things. I was just really, really hard on myself for a good hour yesterday, before I broke free from it and was like, what am I? And I was even in the mirror, talking to myself in the mirror. It was very, I don't know what dimensional area I was in at that time, but I got a good reflection of myself with myself. And I did not like that. So I quickly changed that. Um, the sun's in Taurus, which is I enjoy. It's a nicer energy, so we're still heavily influenced by Aries energy, but with the sun moving into Taurus, we will start to feel May is going to be amazing. I feel like I'm not a predictor, but I feel like May is going to be more grounded, a little more relaxed. We were going to feel more comfortable in our own skin and more comfortable in our own life experience. Yes, ho'oponopono. Yes, for sure. That's a good practice to give to yourself. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And look in the mirror when you're doing that as well. So there's purging. Obviously, there's purging with Scorpio, full moon, square to Pluto. We want to really get rid of the garbage that we're carrying internally and for some externally. There's a lot of clutter clearing going on right now. There are important changes that we must make, each and every one of us, and these changes need to be made for us both internally and externally. Taurus is more about the external reality that we're in. Scorpio can be more internal, so we have this push-pull energy, but we really have important changes that it's being shown to us, whether it's a perspective on yourself or doubt or worry or fear. I know there's a lot of financial fears and challenges that are coming up for many people. Taurus energy, finances, jobs, technology. Before the new doors of opportunity fully open from this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, which is great, big, huge changes and opportunities. Jupiter is the gift giver as well as the mind expansion. Our comfort zones are challenged. And we are being asked to maybe move out of a comfort zone in some area of life. That has definitely been an experience of mine. And know that nothing is permanent, but there are great changes and shifts that we should ride through to see where the energy is taking us. Many people will be resisting Taurus energy, fixed energy, resisting the great changes that are trying to, our soul self is pushing, the energy is pushing us out of a comfort zone, facing our fears, which has been a nonstop experience that I've been going through for the last 2 weeks, and they're deep. I mean, there's fears that came up that I just didn't even realize like still existed within me. So we're facing these fears. We are being moved out of comfort zones. Hidden shadows are being revealed. Sudden course corrections are being forced upon many of us. And this can show up as deep fears as well that we're facing. We see truths and understand more once we face these fears, though, truly. And it's been exhausting, but it is worth it. I will tell you, when you have the universe, which these fears have been coming through for me, coming through family members, coming through things that are important to us, our values, Venus, right? And because things are shifting and changing, it's rattling old patterns of behavior. It's putting us in like a freeze mode almost. But we truly are working to release old patterns, limiting beliefs, fears, doubts, worries. Fixed signs, you've got this. Oh man, it is brutal for the fixed signs. For me, Scorpio sun, Leo moon, um, North Node in Aquarius. It's like, wow, there's so much change. I do embrace change though. I have um, Uranus in my first house in Libra. So I actually can embody quick, fast moving change pretty quickly, but I do have a lot of fixed energy that's like, oh no, not again. So the sun in Taurus is in a square to Pluto. And it is really important for us to understand that this is facing your fears and facing these challenges that are bringing up deep fears so that they're no longer a challenge for us. It's our fears that cause the challenge energetically, truly. So that we can move forward with more ease, without so much obstacle, without so much challenge. The things that we really, really, really deeply want, desire, dream of also come with the package of our deepest fears. If you realize or recognize that, why most people don't go for their true heart's desire and their deepest dreams, because it's linked to, I can't, there's a fear. There are big fears that are linked to our deepest dreams and desires. And the things that we love and cherish also come with fears. Our children, our families, our homes, things that are important to us. There's deep fears that are being triggered right now. It's yes, it's been a roller coaster ride last week for sure. Big time. Whew. I mean, it's been a ride. It's been a ride. On the flip side, I've also each and every fear I've faced in each and every um comfort zone that I step out of, I have found great reward. I've like given these beautiful rewards um, by the universe. I mean, it is so worth it to actually go through that fire. Scorpio, it'll burn it all down, and you become the phoenix that rises out of those ashes. More wise, more enlightened, more empowered. It's not to say that we're never going to have any fears, no, but when we face our deepest, darkest fears head on and just trust that everything is going to be okay, even if it doesn't look like it's going to be okay right now, we are rewarded. And that goes such a long way in self empowerment and self love. So big changes, sudden realizations and revelations, a whole new cycle of energy is whisking in to help us along. The Taurus energy certainly affecting our resources, our economics, but and Taurus is our comfort zone. It is our safety zone, our security, our home, our nature, being grounded and rooted. So Uranus, sudden, electric, fast moving changes, upheaval for some, pushes us forward very quickly. It's like standing on the edge, looking over, oh, that's a big jump. Oh, that's really high. I don't think I can do it. And here comes Uranus, push, pushes us over the edge. Then we find out we can fly, that there's something there that's catching us. So it's beautiful to see what's on the other side of all that. But the resistance is in the Taurus energy, and there's that push-pull, because there's something deeper and something bigger inside of us that knows that there's something for us on the other side of the fear, on the other side of being uncomfortable, being rattled and shaken. Yet our minds, our patterns, our ego, our protector is like, no, I don't know what I don't know. So we take what the stories the mind tells us, and the mind wants to predict the future for us, wants to make the future predictable. And that's just not how life is. And we're getting a good glimpse at how important it is to learn how to flow with energy, how to trust and how to go with the flow energetically in life. And we're tested. We're definitely tested. There's been a lot of tests going on. So I want to pull some cards. How are you all doing? How's everybody doing out there? Yeah, and of course, loneliness card always seems to come out around the times of big changes and shifts and things. Martin says rebalancing. Good. Yes. It's important to take time also to process, integrate, and we're given that time if we allow it. Oh, a big thing that came up in my group sessions today was receiving. And one of the things I witnessed in myself that I'll receive with a thank you or this or that, but like, am I actually embodying what is being gifted to me, either whether it's through a beautiful compliment or somebody giving me some form of gift that is definitely coming from a higher place. I'm learning to receive, and I'm learning to tell people, thank you, I received that. And then actually consciously embodying, like bringing that energy into my heart. This is new for me, but it is definitely on my path to, because as a giver, it's also important to be a receiver as well. And we're not taught this by any means, but I definitely had a few people on yesterday. Actually, yesterday being the morning was my challenge. When I woke up, I had 3 different, very specific messages from 3 different people in 3 different areas of the world send me a message, and every message said the same thing. I just wanted to let you know. Oh, sorry. That was a solar flare. I just want to let you know that you are loved and appreciated. All 3. All 3, and none of them know each other, and there was nothing I did at that time, but by the 3rd one I was like, all right, I am going to receive this. Did I embody it? Not all the way, because I had to then take my Scorpio stinger and sting myself a few times for about 2 hours before I broke free from that, and then received the love and appreciation that was being gifted to me. So the universe is working in very mysterious ways right now, very beautiful ways, but it can be a little, what the heck is going on, right? And I will tell you, my needing to work on receiving does stem from wounds. It stems from trauma, and not trusting, like, why are you telling me that? What do you want from me? Kind of attitude, right? And I'm wiping that away, like, no more. And anybody who's been in a relationship with somebody who has narcissistic tendencies will understand that the love bombing phase really like hook, line, and sinker reels us in. And then when you realize that, you got a lot to heal and process when you get yourself out of that. But then when someone genuinely does give you love, that the picture of the love bombing comes back like, oh no, no, I'm not going back into that. But we have to feel it out, truly feel it out. And many of us who have healed from narcissistic relationships with another, it's important for us to be open to receiving true love and true, the gifts that we do give to each other, and not to expect that it's going to turn into something ugly. It takes a lot of healing to get there. Real prosperity is fulfilling. It comes when we are willing to give or find something to give to. Yes, yes. That was another topic that came up in group today, was the sense of fulfillment that comes when we are open and in alignment with our higher self, and we are in alignment with the flow of life. We naturally, it just naturally, we give a smile to a stranger or a compliment, and it doesn't take anything from us. It actually is coming from a higher place, and it changes the energy and the experience of the receiver, who really may have needed a smile, or who have needed to hear whatever it was that we say. And when we actually get to witness that sense of fulfillment, like, I actually made a difference in someone's life today, just by being in my higher self's alignment. That is true fulfillment. That is true, working, co-creating with the divine, for sure. I have abandonment issues, so ego has me repelling love as it will leave. Yes, I'm learning to forgive myself, but moving on. Yeah, same. I totally resonate with that. And it's left me um, in very, it's left me being intentionally isolating myself for a while, until I was able to heal from that, and move back out to connecting with others and trusting the connections, trusting myself, trusting my instincts and my intuition. But yeah, it takes time. Exactly. We don't block the flow of energy. Yes, when we're in alignment, we don't block that flow. It would be lovely if we could just all be in alignment all the time, but we're learning that it ebbs and flows, and we're up and we're down, and to take the time when we're not in alignment, that is not the time to have an important conversation, to make an important decision, to have a knee-jerk reaction, right? Because it's just going to be all old energy replaying itself again. So energy never dies. It's and we're in this cause and effect law of experience, and some of the causes were thousands of years ago. The effects, we keep seeing the effects coming back around and coming back around, and we get another chance. We get another chance to have an experience in a new way, in a different way, where we can actually transform that energy into something more positive. That's really the name of the game in the long haul. And when we can master that for ourselves, there's self-mastery, and self-mastery leads to, look, we've got loneliness at the split and acceptance. Interesting. We affect everybody. We affect each other. We affect more than we are fully aware of. So it is definitely an inside job, but we are understanding that whatever's going on in here is also going to have some kind of effect, cause and effect, outside of ourselves. All right. And slow it down. Oh, we have abundance. It says, I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. And this is true. We are limitless. Also, we manifest what we desire. We also manifest what we do not desire. Unconsciously. There's so much energy stored internally. The cellular memory of our body never forgets, and it does not leave. So these things will come up as memory, even if we have no recollection of what these memories are. We were talking about this earlier today: birth trauma, in the womb trauma, of and other things that we couldn't possibly remember, but the memories are coming up for a lot of people. Martin says, we will when Mercury goes direct again, conjunct Chiron for the third time. Yep, yep. But you can see the rhythm of what the planets are really doing, right? It's just that the heat got really cranked up. It's been going on. This purging, release, internal review, childhood wounds. There's loneliness. Understanding our patterns, changing, the be the change. Something flip? No. Let me take my shoes off. I didn't even take my shoes off. All right. And for many of us who have been consciously on this journey for quite some time are realizing and recognizing this isn't the time to respond. This isn't the time to react. There's something internally that's like, sit with it. Don't, not yet. There's this not yet. Wait for it kind of energy. Because from my experiences, and there have been these big changes that are happening in my life, it's been so chaotic and it keeps changing. The changes keep changing. And they're big. I wish I could speak up on them, but they're still in the midst of changing yet again. So one day I will share what is truly happening in my world. But until then, I will say that it's big. And it is also, I see a cycle from the past. So especially with the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction, that's the last cycle was 2010 into 2011. It's hard for me to reflect on that time because that's when I had back surgery and I was heavily medicated for a while. So I don't have a whole lot of memories, but I do know how that affected like my son, how it affected others around me because I was the one that was always doing everything for everybody else. And suddenly I was down. I was not a player in their game and like the universe put me way down. And the effects of that, I think it's coming back around right now where there's great healing. I mean, it's been culminating and working and, there's been ups and downs there, but ultimately, Uranus is the liberator. Darren says, it's the universe, is it? Well, what do you think it is, Darren? I'm just curious. I really want to throw that back to you. I'm curious of your perspective. Universal energy flows through every single one of us. It's up to us how we relate to it, how we engage with it. We're in an interactive experience here with life. Ultimately, your experience is you with you, me with me, and all the other players in the game. Yes, they're close to us. I'm not calling it a game. It is a game, but it's not a game. Universal law, yes. And there are definite universal laws that it's important to understand and respect and honor. All right, I don't think anything else wants to come out for this. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Okay, interesting. And we have courage. Overall, we had to have adversity at the bottom. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. That's an acceptance. It's a hard pill to swallow. We want to blame. We want to place blame on others, but we're all in this together. And if you look, even if you expand and look on the world stage of the conflict and the chaos, that is a collective depiction of our own internal chaos and one moment, our own internal chaos, our own internal conflict playing out at a much grander scale whenever we are faced with adversity. Karen says universal law, yes. Martin says all fractals vibrating at slightly different frequencies. Oh my gosh, I had a moment yesterday before I go into this. Actually, this really sort of looks like what I saw. I had a vision, very vivid vision, while I was outside yesterday on my hammock, and I closed my eyes and I was engulfed. It felt like I literally had to open my eyes because it felt like we were having another earthquake. I felt myself being, I don't know how to explain it, dropped into the earth 3 times. It was like boom, 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 like root chakra. And I got up and looked at my phone. Is there an earthquake? And there wasn't. So I lay back down, shut my eyes, and I saw very vividly sacred geometry, the flower in red, in this color, similar to this. And it was beautiful, and it was dancing, and it was moving, and it felt amazing. And it started to move into the, it was root, red. The root chakra was grounding me, very deeply grounding me. Like this was pretty intense. And then moved into the sacral briefly before I was interrupted by my neighbor who just needed to have a conversation with me at that time. So I was taken out of that, but I was shown how my body energetically was shifting and changing into a more grounded, rooted, into the earth type of energy. It was profound for me. But abundance, I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. It's a hard understanding for humans who are not, have not, how do we say, have not fully healed from deep wounds, from their past, from their experiences, and are still in the mentality of us against them, me against you, and are not able to see how your struggles are with you internally. There's just a mirror reflection from other people, other experiences that are reflecting to us and shining a light on our deep pain. When we can get to that, when we get to that stage and we begin to heal and unpack and unfold all of that, there is an important period of time where we go into isolation and we feel very lonely. I know that I'm never alone. We also get to experience our connection to interdimensional beings and our higher self or angels or guides or however it is perceived and experienced through that solo journey of healing. And then we're given an opening to, all right, time to come out of hermit mode. And it's scary because we're transformed, we're changed through that part of the healing journey. And suddenly there's this fear of, I'm not going to, because we're not the same people that we were going into that. We're no longer operating on the same frequency. We're no longer operating on the same belief systems. So much has changed, and finding resonance to those that we were connecting to before, there's not much resonance. And so there's fear. Nobody's going to understand me. People are going to think I'm crazy. But I need to get on with my life. I need to keep moving. I can't stay in this hermit mode. And that's where the courage comes in. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And we're also facing some really deep fears, deep, dark fears through this journey. And every one of us, it's different. We do have discipline at the bottom, so it is important to know that we are on this journey together. Yet it's also Earth School, so a lot of the things that we are experiencing, we signed up for to transmute and heal for our family lineage, for the collective. This is our mission. Our mission is not to come down here and, I mean, we get perks from our experiences and the fun and the love and all the things that's shared. But ultimately, we came back here. We've been here before. We've come here again, time and time again, incarnation after incarnation, to break free from these limitations and these beliefs that have been placed on us in other lifetimes and through our family lineage. And it's not easy, yet we are guided, we are supported through it if we are open to receiving that guidance and that love. That really kind of is what helps us move into the healing journey. And everybody's experience is unique, but after doing this work with other people for such a long time now, I'm also recognizing that even though everybody's healing journey is unique to them, because we all have our own story, we all have our own shit that we've experienced and that we're going through, yet it's all the same at the same time. It's so fascinating to see how connected we all are when it comes to especially getting through the healing journey. There's a lot of resistance that builds up and builds up and builds up, and I see there's a lot of banter going on. I'm sorry, I'm kind of in the flow right now to read through it, but let me get into my space here. There's a lot of resistance because it does require, it's a big change. We're going from being a caterpillar, and we've always known ourselves as being a caterpillar, and everybody else has known us as being a caterpillar, and suddenly the caterpillar's like, oh shit, I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying. And you go into cocoon. I'm afraid, what's going on? But in that cocoon, what's happening? Wings are developing, the whole body is transforming. When we come out of the cocoon, it also is fresh and new and takes courage to actually spread those wings. And like, now I can fly. Now I can go and see much more than I ever could on the ground as a caterpillar. I can fly around and have new experiences, different experiences. The experience of a caterpillar and a butterfly are two totally different experiences. Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask that, Darren, that we're mindful of how you're participating in the group, because if you're not resonating with the dialogue or with the readings, I'm not understanding why you're here. Nobody is here to put anybody down or bash anybody. I do understand there's deep pain, and sometimes that pain comes out. I don't know what you're referring to, and I will end up having to, I don't want to, but I will end up having to remove you from the chat, because I don't like the feeling of what's going on here, but I'm trying to keep it an open. I don't like to remove anybody from these readings or any of my group sessions at all. So, but, okay. Okay, whew. One moment here. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of volatile energy. And, you know, I understand where the anger comes from. Yet, I know loneliness does make us do strange things. I understand where the anger comes from and the spewing and all of that. Yet, I don't want to continue to feed that or allow it to affect the rest of us, really, because it does. It affects the rest of us. And this is sacred. I find these readings and this time with all of you and the dialogue to be very important and sacred, and then we're all on this healing journey together, and it's not necessary to lash out and whatever. I didn't even read all. I only like saw a couple words, and anyway, I'm sorry for that that energy. Okay, so let's continue with the reading. And that does depict definitely the energy that we're in and the great changes that we're in, the resistance to that change, or the resistance to make the changes that need to be made internally. When we don't want to look at ourselves, it's easier to project outward. I mean, we've all done it. We've all done it at some point in our life, to some degree, but some are more intense than others. Okay. Another reminder, I have to learn how to add people as being a moderator. So any of you who are out here who, happy Sunday, hello. Any of you who wouldn't mind being a moderator, if not for this one, but maybe in the next few, just let me know. And as soon as I figure out how to set that up, I will do that. Because it does help whenever I'm doing readings or if I'm channeling information. It's hard for me to look up and see what, oh, thank you, Karen. It's hard for me to look up and see what everybody's saying all the time, and I miss stuff. And I know that energy affects us all. It even affects the readings. So here we have 10 of inspiration. Overgiving, oversharing, people pleasing. Definitely a pattern we all have to some degree that we've formed in childhood. Where is this going? Family, 10 of materials, community. This is what's changing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yep. All right, beautiful. This is a big pattern that's changing. Oh, now I'm getting messages. Okay. Within us is like wanting to help others, or being some of us, that fear of how we are seen, or how people, like, are we letting people down by saying no, and I need to say no this time. Like, yeah, I'm actually getting, this is a good reflection of me right now, allowing something to go on a little too long until it's like, finally, okay, enough. I'm being nice, I'm being kind, but how far does that go before others are affected, before the community is actually affected? All right, thank you. But because many of us probably understand this as well, even as in childhood, whether it's between the mother and father, and the mother is always like placating the abusive dad. And this is just a scenario, but mother's placating the abusive dad, and not really, and is like kind of coddling the child also, but not protecting the child by saying no, no more, right? And so when we don't put up healthy boundaries or speak our truth and finally say enough, other people are affected by that. It's not just us. There are no accidents. That's right, Martin. Other people are affected. So that's a good lesson right here for me, and probably many of us also, of like, how long does it take before you finally say no more, right? Because there's a lot, we've been kind of juggling in between that. Where's the fine line of no? Where's the fine line of saying no more? And if we do get pushed to the edge, we get pushed to the edge, and suddenly a fire is lit under our asses. It's like you're going to make a decision one way or the other. What is your truth? And that comes up. It's like, okay, I understand. But ultimately, look what we have, the Ace of Materials. That opens up a whole new opportunity, a whole new door, a whole new experience. And the Hierophant below that. Oh my gosh, we just had a lesson. We just had a lesson right here. As far as, how nice are you going to be? How much giving are you going to be before it's like, all right, I'm sorry. I really truly am sorry to see anybody go, but there's no more, can't keep juggling someone else's pain and expect that to be okay, especially in a group setting, in a community setting. Universal perspective, yeah. I love it. I love how these messages are just totally unfolding before my very eyes. So with that said, we're going to get one last message, and Starseed Oracle is really calling to me. Oh, I just heard a strange noise. Okay, I think it's my cat. We have this new cat, which I thought was a bobcat, that has been coming into my backyard, into the woods here, because he's big, he's beautiful, but he's got these pointy ears. I'm like, is that a bobcat? Well, it turns out it's not, but it is definitely a male, unfixed cat, big, beautiful cat. I named Bob. So Bob comes around and kind of triggers my Luna. But Bob seems really nice. He came up to me yesterday and gave me a little meow, and he goes up into the woods and just sort of watches us. And I watched the masculine, feminine energy perspective through these cats yesterday anyway. So it sounds like old Bob is back right now outside. And cats they're very vocal, and they're not quiet. When they have something to say, when their territory is intruded upon, watch out. All right. Give us one last message for today. And I'd like to just give some good energy as we are being carried into this full moon. I am actually embracing the full moon in Scorpio big time, and I feel like I'm in this energy. I feel like we're in this energy right now, and it's just bringing us to such a great big huge point of no return. We can't turn back after going through all that we're going through. Casey says, I'm hanging out with a squirrel and a crow right now. It's funny. I love it. It's a little chilly here today, but I do love hanging out outside and witnessing the animals. And they definitely speak to me in volumes, for sure. Final message for us all. I always feel like I missed something. There's so much that has happened in the last week or two. And I guess if it's meant for me to share, it would pop up into my awareness right now. It's just been so much. Oh, they like pistachio nuts. The squirrels around here like my bird feeders, and so I always have to chase them off. But it's funny you say squirrel because I have a squirrel. I have a friend who's very much on the neurodivergent side. And she always called herself a squirrel, meaning like she can't stay still and I'm a squirrel, this and that. And I think that was a reflection of me back then and my energy, because she doesn't do it anymore, but just being easily distracted and doing too many things at once. The classic ADHD, you know, all over the place, can't sit still. I've come a long way from being in that place. So don't let any diagnosis or anything fool you. That's energy and how we handle energy, in my opinion, from my experiences. Anyway, we got Portal. Ha! Doors opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Well, if that doesn't scream Jupiter, Uranus conjunction, I don't know what does, but there is a giant portal, a big door of opportunity, of new, of great changes, and it's all our choice. We can stay stagnant, we can stay stuck in the old patterns, we can resist the changes, we can resist facing our fears, we can resist we can resist being pulled out of our comfort zone, but that's going to happen anyway, honestly. Let's read it from the book. Oh, grease it, they won't be able to climb it. I know. See, I don't have it on a pole. It's like on this, it's hard to explain. It's on a hook, a long hook that extends out from my bay window. But maybe I will like spray some cooking spray on it or something. Yes, yay, I know. And trust me, it's been a long time coming for some of these doors opening that I felt, and I knew in my heart of hearts that would open. And they've opened a little bit and closed again, and opened a little bit and closed back again. And now I'm really starting to see why I wasn't ready for that door to be open. I was not ready to walk in or jump through a portal this big of what is the energy, where the energy is taking me. Now I feel like I'm so ready. I'm so ready. But let's read it from the book. Doors are opening for you. Your thoughts are extra powerful for you right now. Planets are aligning. The timing is right. The universe is saying yes. You have the Midas touch. Your hard work is being rewarded. This is a time when you can reap the rewards for efforts made in the past. It's also a time when you can achieve a lot. Great leaps can be made. Extreme transformation can occur. Great distances can be traveled in a short space of time. You're swimming with the cosmic current of life. What experience would you like to have? What do you want to create? What new adventure would you like to manifest? Don't lose focus. Use this moment in time wisely. Be conscious and clear with your emotions and thinking. Projects that you've been working on are coming to fruition. Things are in full bloom. It's time to take your harvest and taste your well earned fruits. When this card comes up in a spread, it's a sure sign that effortless change is possible. If you've been looking for a sign, this is your portal into that new reality. Now is the time to make big changes. If you've been guided to switch things up, you're extremely well supported right now. Use this energy and jump right on in. I think this is a beautiful way to wrap up this reading. Yes, it has been challenging. Yes, our deep fears have been arising in a big way, but only because our deepest desires and dreams are linked to those fears as well. So let's face our fears together. Let's allow ourselves to be pulled out of our comfort zone, because I've already done this a few times this week, and what's on the other side is so rewarding. And it really does. The universe is like, good job. Here's, a gift. Here's an opening. And I can't wait to see what's through this door for each and every one of us. It's going to be beautiful. I love it. So that's what I have for us all right now. And thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for being here and communing and being here together, supportive. That to me is so fulfilling, and it warms my heart. So thank you all so much for your support, for your love, for your community. And oh, you're welcome. Yeah, and thank you for your energies, this beautiful reciprocity of give and take. I love it. So you guys have a really great evening, day, wherever you are in the world. Know that we're doing this together and great changes are upon us. Yes. Thank you, Martin. Thank you for being here. All right. Gonna let you guys go. So much love. Take care. Bye.